Hey, what's up guys? It's Jordan. Today is the next on my Pokemon top 5s. This is top 5 flying types. So of course, two things before we get started. One, this list will not include legendaries. I plan to make a list in the future just for them. And secondly, this top 5 is based on my personal favourites. It's impossible to list the best because everyone has different opinions. So if you don't agree with my top 5, make sure you let me know yours in the comment section below. And of course, make sure you hit that like button because you know your support is greatly appreciated. So let's get our countdown started. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we've got Ninjask. Now, being a Gen 3 fanboy, I love pretty much all Gen 3 Pokemon, except for a couple. Love Disc. But Ninjask was a Pokemon who, not until recently, that I actually liked that much. I don't know why, because Ninjask is a ninja Pokemon. Ninjas are awesome. Why don't I like Ninjask? Well, I do now. Recently I started using a Ninjask a lot more, especially when I found out that Ninjask has the highest speed out of any non-legendary Pokemon. If I'm wrong in that, correct me, I'm pretty sure it's got the highest base speed. I just love Ninjask. I've just really grown to love Ninjask. Usually, when I evolved Nincada, I always made sure I had an extra spot in my party just so when it evolved into Ninjask, I could also get Shedinja, even though it's a lot easier to take out a Shedinja these days. But I've grown to like Ninjask a lot more just because of how fast it is. It's got a pretty good moveset. It's got a great design. It's just an all-round really cool Pokemon. And I regret not using Ninjask that much in the past, but I've definitely grown to love Ninjask. Ninjask is in the number 5 spot. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we've got Noivern. When Pokemon X and Y came out, I didn't think much for Noivern. There was a lot of other Pokemon that I used, so that's probably the reason why, but I just never used Noivern that much. Recently I started playing Alpha Sapphire. I'd already played through Pokemon Omega Ruby, and now when I started Alpha Sapphire, I wanted to try something different, and I started with one Pokemon from each generation. Pokemon that I had never really used before. And so for the recent Gen 6 Pokemon on my team, I decided to grab Noibat, just because I've always thought Noibat was cool since the first thing I saw it. I just never got the chance to use it because I was using so many other awesome Pokemon. But through playing Alpha Sapphire, my Noibat has leveled up. It's now a Noivern. It's got an amazing moveset. It knows Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Boom Burst, which I absolutely love, and Air Slash. 4 awesome moves. I absolutely love Noivern. I just love the look of Noivern. I love Dragon Pokemon. I was instantly gonna like Noivern. I don't think there's one Dragon Pokemon to this date that I don't like yet. Noivern's just an all-round awesome Pokemon. Noivern can learn heaps of awesome moves. It's just got an amazing look. I love Noivern in the anime. I love Noivern in the games. I just love Noivern. I bet I'll be using Noivern a lot in the future. Noivern is in the number 4 spot. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we've got Gliscor. Now Gliscor I only mentioned in my last video. Actually, I think I rambled on a fair bit about Gliscor in the last video. I'll try not to talk about it too much in this video. All I'll say is that Gliscor is just an absolutely awesome Pokemon. I love its moveset. I love its design. And yes, I love Gliscor in the anime. That's mostly what I talked about in my last video for it. I'll just briefly mention it again. I loved Gliscor in the anime. I love the fact that Gliscor was just a unique evolution for Ash's team. For one, I was already excited when Ash got Gligar in the Sinnoh region, because it was just a unique Pokemon for Ash to have in Sinnoh region. But it's probably because of the fact that in Gen 4, a lot of old Pokemon got evolved forms. I didn't even think that Ash would be getting some older Pokemon to be able to evolve into these new forms. But they actually did a fair amount in the anime. And like I said before, I mostly like the fact that Gliscor had a unique evolution compared to all Ash's other Pokemon. Because most of Ash's Pokemon have evolved, just at random moments they evolve, everyone's in shock. But when Gligar evolved into Gliscor, it was forcefully done. Gligar was meant to evolve into Gliscor because it needed an item to evolve. Ash and Gligar were up against Team Rocket, and Ash was just falling. Gligar couldn't catch Ash. Ash had the Razor Fang in his hand and he threw it at Gligar. He said, "Here's the Razor Fang, grab it." And Gligar catches the Razor Fang and then straight away evolves into Gliscor. That was just an awesome moment. Probably one of my favourite moments in all of the Diamond and Pearl saga for Pokemon. I just love Gliscor. Totally awesome Pokemon. Gliscor is in the number 3 spot. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we've got Scyther. I've loved Scyther since the first moment I saw it. I just absolutely love the look of Scyther. Whenever I think of a praying mantis now, I think of Scyther. It's the first thing I think of. I love that Scyther's arms are blades, but it's not a very good thing having blades as your arms. But it works for Scyther. Scyther's just an awesome looking Pokemon, decent moveset. I've never really had any issues with Scyther. I'd use Scyther whenever I could. I just really like Scyther. I love Scyther in the anime when Tracy caught Scyther. Whenever I see Scyther in anime, I get excited just because it's just an awesome Pokemon. And I also love its evolved form, Scizor. I know a lot of people prefer Scyther over Scizor. I still love Scizor, but I'll get to that. Scyther is just an awesome Pokemon. Scyther is in the number 2 spot. Coming in at the number 1 spot, we've got Charizard. Another Gen 1 Pokemon, and I already mentioned Charizard in my top 5 fire Pokemon. That's because I just love Charizard. The first Pokemon I ever had in any Pokemon game was Charmander. Because my first game was Pokemon Blue. Yes, it's weird, I didn't pick Squirtle for Pokemon Blue. At the time, I was only like 5 or 6, so I didn't really think much about picking Squirtle for Pokemon Blue. I just thought Charmander was the coolest out of the 3, and I picked Charmander. I had a level 100 Charizard, which was just the most awesome Pokemon ever. I had so many great battles with Charizard, and over the years, I've always just loved Charizard. Easily my favourite Kanto starter. When Gen 6 came out and they gave the Kanto starters Mega Evolutions, I absolutely loved Charizard's Mega Evolution. And then they gave Charizard a second Mega Evolution on top of the one it already had. Blastoise and Venusaur didn't get a second Mega Evolution. Charizard did. That pissed a lot of people off. Not me, because I love Charizard. And Charizard's second Mega Evolution is absolutely badass. What's not to like about Charizard's second Mega Evolution? He becomes Fire and Dragon. He becomes black, like his shiny form. He just looks awesome. Absolutely love Charizard. Loved Ash's Charizard in the anime. Probably my favourite Pokemon of Ash's. Just probably one of my favourite Pokemon overall. I just absolutely love Charizard. In the future, I'll probably make a countdown for my personal favourite Pokemon overall. I could guarantee right now, Charizard will be in that list. I love Charizard so much. So many memories of Charizard. Charizard is easily the number 1 flying Pokemon. Well, there you go. That's my top 5 flying Pokemon. So like I said, if you didn't like my top 5, make sure you let me know yours in the comment section below. And of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not already. That way you can keep up to date with future Pokemon top 5s. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.